Formula 1 returns to Shanghai, China for round 3 of the 2018 season for the Chinese Grand Prix, and with this track, much like Bahrain of the previous circuit, it's a power track. However, with its twist and technical second sector of the lap, usually it's a car with a better balance than overall straight line speed that come out on top if they're going over past history. However, the straight line speed of the BMW Williams and the Toyotas can never count them out of the mix, but with a better balance for the Mercedes and the Red Bull, with some upgrades they've brought this weekend, it could be an 8-way fight for the race win come race day on Sunday. That's where it's going to be best of the rest in the midfield. Well, that's anyone's game with how close the bottom 5 teams appear to be so far this early in the season. Mercedes come to this race announcing that they won't be appealing George Russell's disqualification from the previous race. Total states that it was a justified disqualification and that Russell will have to work hard to gain back the points that he lost from what would have been an 8th place finish at Bahrain. Matsushita looks to keep his form momentum going, with the Toyota reserve driver scoring points on his debut for McLaren last time out. He's hoping for much more of the same here at the circuit that he has to get used to quickly, as he's never raced here before in any other junior category. Ferrari though once again looked to be on the back foot after the second race in a row. This time though with Charles Leclerc still for the failure. Ferrari still 2 for 2 on mechanical issues for either of their cars during the races. They've still got a lot of work to do to find whatever these niggling issues are in the car to fix them for later in the season. Josh Cheer though was also struggling, however his car was working fine, but however the balance of the car wasn't so good for the 2016 champion, but however this time at least the 2016 champion could keep the car out of the barriers and for once not spin. There's still a lot of work to do to get the balance right come race day. And Honda bring their first upgrades of the season for Toro Rosso and for Red Bull, as neither team is officially stated as the works team. It looks to be Toro Rosso is benefiting more from the upgrades due to how close the best of the rest battle in the midfield is. And Williams though were looking mighty once again over 1 lap pace. Although when it came to doing long runs in second practice, both Robert Kubica and Mick Schumacher were way down in the top teams and have to do a lot of work on setup yet. Hey guys, Taro here. Welcome back to the UniONE career for round 3, the Chinese Grand Prix. And as you've seen, the qualifying graphics have not come up yet, and that's because I'm trying something a bit different for this race. So as ever now, we get the start here of the grid. Let's look at this grid. So many cars once again, as you can see. Pierre Gasly here in P12 because qualifying was it was dry to wet, so it was all about getting your timing right. And Vettel in 15th, Ferrari definitely didn't get their timing right, as you'll see when the qualifying graphics come up in a minute. And you can get a quick look at the grid there. I was going to say now the reason I've done it differently is because the qualifying graphics, the odd ones, genuinely they take me about an hour to make, and they make up 2 minutes of the video. So I'm not really seeing the point in that, because I'm trying something different, and it should come up now shortly. But Robbie Kubica on pole position there, with Lewis Hamilton completing the front row in the Toyota. 2 good qualifying efforts there for both of them. We've got Russell in P3 with a good job in the Mercedes, with Kamui Kobayashi starting from P4 in the other Toyota. A great qualifying from Hulkenberg starting from P5, and ourselves in P6, getting our qualifying efforts right. With Verstappen down in 7th and Mick Schumacher only managing 8th place in the second Williams. Herta gets his first top 10 of the season, and the Paulette from Kvyat season start only from P10. The real French row 6, with Jean Gavin 11th and Pierre Gasly down in P12. Mika Kari gets his best qualifying of the season so far in 13th, with Charles Leclerc only in 14th place, with his teammate Vettel in 15th, with Gio in 16th in the other of the Alfa Romeos. And it's all Haas row 9, with Stroll in 17th and Colton Herta down in 18th place. And we've got Alex Albon in 19th and Matsushita in last, as he didn't manage his set of time due to some kind of mechanical issue with his McLaren. So yeah, Matsushita's got a lot of work to do in the race, and also starting from P6. And they've got Hulkenberg P5, so Hulk's definitely got. I doubt any of us midfield cars are going to get there on a legitimate basis, so me and Hulk have got a great chance to get a one-up on the rest of the other midfield teams, the McLarens, Toro Rossos, the Haas and that, with us starting now in P5 and P6. We've got a fast starting Verstappen and a charging Mick Schumacher. I'm pretty sure he's the championship leader coming into this race, so he's going to want to make amends for starting down in P8. And are coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the Chinese Grand Prix. Lights out, and away you go after a very long hole that was. Pretty much tight by every car, just putting the about 1,000 horsepower down from these 2-litre turbo engine. Now it's going down in turn, we're getting 3-wide, getting sandwiched in now, going to get ready the outside line. A few cars there, we just back out of that. Because honestly, those cars are going to get around the Merc, the Red Bull and that, but this McLaren though, that is a car that I need to fight back there, Rio Haryanto, because he is a car that we can definitely fight in this race. Although he's got his attentions on his the car he started next to in the race, Danny Kvyat giving it side by side still. The Russian versus the Indonesian, Mercedes versus McLaren. Now coming down now into, what is this, turn 4, turn 5, we're right up behind the back though of the two of them, but there's absolutely nowhere that we can go. Kvyat that gets pinched to the apex. And it's like the Herta got a bad run out of the corner because a little bit lesser drag on that McLaren with the downforce he has. He's going to stick it all the way around the outside line. Is that going to then turn to the inside? But Herta once again going to try and keep it around the outside line. But that Mercedes just flexing its downforce, just about able to pull in front there of Herta. But honestly, a valiant effort there from Herta in that McLaren to fight Mercedes for about half a lap. And since he had qualified him as well, I mean, though, somewhat due to weather conditions, Mercedes definitely didn't get the timing right in Q3, but he was guaranteed to start in the top 10 anyway, so it's not all too bad. For Kvyat, he's already now into P8, he can chase down off to all the other front-running cars in front of him. And this corner here, this is the least favourite corner on the track for this car, though it's my personal favourite on this track. And we've got Van oiled back for us, and Van's starting to set medium tyres as well, because he's in starting the top 10, stolen every tyres you want. And it's going to be a dry race now with me and the 2017 champion down now into the hairpin. Looks like Van's going to have it on the inside line. We're going to stick it around the outside line. Just about going to keep the nose in there, and Van has to give us some space there around the outside line. Now we're going to keep it side by side now and then run now up into the final corner. We just got the Taro there of Kari. And then the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly just up behind us as well. We just managed to force out the Frenchman. Now it's going to be about the run down to the first corner. I'd like to think that our Alfa Romeo car has got more straight line speed than the Renault. Okay, someone wants to have to get a little bit defensive, so I think Van's running that engine on max power or the on slower tyres. That's not going to affect your straight line speed because all 4 tyres are rounded and inflated, so your car's going to go whatever speed it can go at in a straight line, regardless anyway. Through the first sector, we've managed to hold off the charges of the champion from 2 seasons ago. We've got Herta still as drive for us, but now we are the back driver out of the top 10 at least anyway. Don't know if anyone's further down started on whatever tyres someone else further down started on, but we are the back driver on the soft tyres, and that's not good for us because the soft tyres are a little bit tragic around here. They're only going to go about 5 laps of the race if we're lucky, since we all qualified them as well. So if they were fresh, you probably get to about laps 7 or 8 maybe. That's probably a bit of a push. But once all the soft tyres start to go off, we're going to be the first one that is going to be swamped by all these midfield cars. You can just see Herta's just disappearing in front of us, although we're 5 seconds quicker than our previous lap so far, with all the battling that was going on before. And that 5 seconds, that's a bit more for Herta and all that queue in front of him. I mean, you can't even see on the little binning up on the bottom left, you can't even see the leading cars anymore. He was just about to say Hulkenberg, who he started next to. So he's had a much better start than we did. With this Alfa Romeo, with the aero design that is on the car, it does take a while to get the tyres up to temperature. And now we've got a battle going on further behind. Now we've got Pierre Gasly looking for a way past Nico Kari. Coming into the hairpin, Kari's defending his position. Gasly has to back out there, just being squeezed a bit to the apex. And he could have had the inside line, but there were 3 that we could have got. And now we've got this Charles Leclerc going side by side now with Pierre Gasly. Let's find a way now around the outside line. Gasly's going to keep his footing, just gets squeezed out though by the Monegasque. And now he's going to be under threat now from the other Ferrari now of Sebastian Vettel. The run now down into turn 1, he's going to make the move stick. He's going to make any move actually. No, just to stick behind the Frenchman there. So the Honda engine got some pretty decent straight speed on it though. I think Gasly may have got a bit flustered there from Charles Leclerc, managing to force his way through since Gasly went from trying to make an overtake to being overtaken. Now looking at the battle further on now with the other Red Bull of Max Verstappen inside the top 10. Now being battled with the Renault of Hulkenberg. Well, those got to worry now, but the McLaren of Rio Haryanto. And Haryanto, I don't know what he's on. I don't know what he's had for breakfast. Probably a bit of porridge, honestly. Now he's going side by side now with Verstappen. He's actually going to try and make a move on the Red Bull and trying to go to Verstappen and keep it up the inside line. I think it was so close to contact between them, but they somehow managed to avoid contact between the 2 of them. And then once again Haryanto now on the outside line, going to try and make a move stick now, coming into the sweeping association. And once again Verstappen's going to try and keep it around the outside line. Has he got enough he's got that good chassis, but has he got enough aero to keep it up the inside line? Once again Haryanto is going to fight for all his wealth, and this time he's able to keep it through because the Red Bull is not as superior in aero as it's been in previous seasons. They're going to keep it still around the outside line. Haryanto going to keep it up the inside line. They're going to make a little bit of wheel banging there with Verstappen and just forcing out a little wide under the curbing. But Max Verstappen has just been absolutely done by Rio Haryanto in the McLaren. And this race back in 2016 was honestly the race that put McLaren and Rio Haryanto on notice. He had such a good race. I mean, his engine expired just after he crossed the line. That doesn't matter. He had a brilliant race back in 2016, which of course was his debut season in Formula 1. But now that's happened now. He's not going to take that line down. That Honda engine now turned up to 11. And now you're going to try and make a move back now on Rio Haryanto, coming down now into the hairpin. Haryanto defends his position to the inside line. You're going to try and make Verstappen go the long way around the outside line and pretty much try and mimic what we did back on Jean-Eric Verne on the opening lap of the race. Still no, it's side by side still. Verstappen there up the inside line, so you can try and make the move, seeing there back on Haryanto. But whilst they're battling, I'm going to do a Hamilton, and while I'm glad that gravel trap's been gone ever since he did get stuck in there, honestly, because otherwise I would have just Hamiltoned it completely into the pit lane. But thankfully though, it was tarmacked over, but now we're coming in for a very early start. Now going on to a 2-start strategy here, because these tyres are absolutely done by this point now. They're going now to a set of medium tyres. And as you've seen from the practice news report, the hard tyres and this car didn't exactly agree with each other. And it looks like we've got one of the Williams here of Robbie Kubica, so the pole sitter is also on the same strategy. So thinking that the hard tyres aren't the way to go, so it's going to be me and Kubica going on 2 sets of mediums now to the end of the race, and we're making the 2-set strategy work. Now moving on to the end of that lap, you know, got everyone else making their way into the pit lane as well, and Verstappen's just about managed to keep himself there ahead of Haryanto, but Hulkenberg going to be you can be pretty happy with the way things are going in that first stint, managing to keep it ahead there of a worked Red Bull Honda, of course, with the breakdown of the relationship between Red Bull and Renault. And things are going to get pretty personal there. It's going to be a set of hard tyres then for Haryanto. So McLaren and Haryanto thinking they can go to the end of the race now on that set of hard tyres. It's about 20 or so laps, maybe even a bit more. Let's make it back onto the track now, and Hulk's been done in the pit stop there, so good pit stop there from the Red Bull crew. The car going into the line there of Verstappen, and is ourselves. We managed to get the undercut there on 3 cars, so brilliant outlap for us really on these softer tyres, and on fresher tyres as well than what everyone else was on, despite being a harder compound. Now then we've got one of the Mercedes there in front of us now, George Russell. You can see his name's got the purple border around it, so he currently has the fastest lap of the race, and having the fastest lap, honestly, that's a pretty good way to bounce back from being disqualified from the previous race. But now they're going to keep that fastest lap towards the end, and he's also want to say a hard size as well, so it's like they're trying to go to the end of the race in Mercedes, so pretty much everyone's going to try and do 21 laps on a set of hard tyres. They're going to be so slow by the end of the race. I mean, honestly, I'm surprised no one really more is trying this strategy that me and Kubica are on. But now then, looking up front now, it's currently Charles Leclerc who leads the way. Of course, this is all the battle of all of the other traditional one-stoppers outside the top 10. And he's got the Renault of Jean-Eric Vergne behind him, actually gaining on some pretty good strain on speed, honestly, in that Renault coming down into the hairpin. It's not close enough to make a move on the back of Leclerc. Then currently in P3, we've got Seb Vettel in the Ferrari. He's managed to make a move as well on Pierre Gasly, but Gasly, to be fair to him, is actually falling away all too much, so he may have got done by the Ferraris, but they're not exactly romping away from him, so there's definitely signs of progress there from Red Bull and Honda that have definitely been made if they can keep this close to a Ferrari. I mean, even with the DRS, they're not actually gaining on the back of Sebastian Vettel, but at least he can keep with him, so there's definitely signs of progress there from Red Bull. And then we have the lead of the Toro Rossos still of Nico Kari. He's having a pretty quiet race of his own at the minute, ahead then of our teammate Giovinazzi in the Alpha. And then we have the other Toro Rosso then of Alex Albon about a second or so behind him. And then we have the lead of the Haas drivers there, which is currently Lance Stroll, just on a set of medium size, which I'm pretty sure all these drivers are, quite honestly. And then we have Matsushita in the other McLaren, who started down in last place. And then we have the first of the leaders trying to make their way back through the order, which is actually Mick Schumacher, who started in P8 and somehow is now leading the Grand Prix. I'm not quite sure how that's happened. Then we've got Robbie Kubica making his way around the outside line of the other Haas there of Colton Herta, which is no surprise since Herta is in the BMW Junior team. He's not going to put up a fight whatsoever there to Robbie Kubica, especially since they're on completely different strategies as well. And then we have the other Merc then of Danny Kvyat on a set of hard tyres, along with the lead Toyota here of, is that Lewis Hamilton? I think it is, can't quite see the number there on the side of the car, but it's probably Hamilton. Then we have the other Merc of George Russell, which you've already seen there, he's on a set of hard tyres. And then we have Kamui Kobayashi, who's also made his first stop now, and looked like, he's on a set of hards as well. And the other Toyota, and he's come out just in front of us, so if he were a little bit closer, we could have jumped to Toyota as well, so. And this we're actually keeping with him, because he's still got Verstappen there behind us, so as it stands right now, we're actually running at front car pace, and that shows the only difference really between our cars is the tyre compound, so if it takes, the only difference it takes is the tyre compound's worth of difference, then this field could actually be quite a bit closer than what it looks like, really. Because the tyre difference is what's keeping us here and actually giving us the good pace that we need. And we've got Hulkenberg here right in the back of Haryanto. This is the fight probably to get out of what is currently last place. Although as the race progresses, they're probably going to be back somewhere inside the points places, I would think anyway. Although everyone else that pits is also going to have to set of hard tyres, depending on when they pit. So, although they're going to have the fresh tyres for all the newer cars, or the cars behind when they pit, track position around here probably is going to make a lot of difference because they're probably going to be quite away from as well, especially with the time that they're gaining now on this effective undercut. But now then, on to lap 11. So nearing the halfway stage now of the Grand Prix, and we're still keeping right to the back there of Kobayashi, or at least we were until we got to this corner on the track, because this car just doesn't like it, especially with the setup I'm running as well. I just really just can't put the traction down as much as I want. Although actually now Sebastian Vettel out of the Grand Prix. So 3 for 3 on something going wrong for Ferrari. I don't know if that's a mechanical issue. I'm going to have to see where he's pulled off as he come out into the hairpin. We've got yellow flags here, and it is possible to crash here. I mean, Gutierrez did it in 2013, just smashed into the back of Adrian Sutter, I think it was. So the car there is pulled off, so I'm not quite sure if he hit something or someone. We're going to see, have a look on a replay later on what's going on. You know, we're still getting there on the back of Kobayashi, but that's a free time. That can be critical to getting us back in the points later on. We come now into turn 1, still falling behind the back though of Kobayashi. Runs out a little bit wide. They're going for a gap up the inside. Like if he's side-by-side with Kobayashi, you can squeeze us onto the curbing. And we're pretty much going to make the overtake that off the track. We're going to keep it side-by-side there with Kobayashi. There's absolutely no space whatsoever. I mean, surely he must have seen that we were there. And they're going to go for a switchback line on the inside line now of Kobayashi, coming up now into what is about turn 5, I'm pretty sure. But they're going to go around the outside line. And we're going to outbrake Kobayashi because we've got grip. He ties on him and keep it around the outside. I'm going to pinch him to the A base. Made the mistake there on Kamui, so that's pretty much that's karma for trying to force me off the track. I mean, I know he's got the nickname Kobayashi, but geez, that was a little bit extreme if you ask me. I mean, I was probably in front of him. He's just like, nah, I'm not going to give you any track whatsoever. I mean, I've been off the track enough times so far in this Alfa Romeo, so at least I managed to hold it off there. I know that area of the track pretty well. I've got one of the marks going up the inside line there of the Haas. A bit further up in the order. We've now got Max Verstappen looking very interested in the back now then of the Toyota. And it seems so far, as it usually is with the Red Bull versus another front-running car, usually quite polar opposites. I mean, that Toyota is mighty in a straight line. Not the best on the aeros, you've seen from the wet qualifying at Australia. They struggled a bit in Q3. And that Red Bull, not quite there yet on the engine power. You see the Toyota is still pulling away. And the aero, it's not bad, but it's not as good as what it usually is for the Adrian Newey designed Red Bull cars. Now we've got Kobayashi getting round the back of those. That's some great trying speed, and that Toyota managed to got the engine turned up to 11 there, because he is not going to be happy about being done by an Alfa Romeo, a car which is basically still a Sauber, because we got the car the Sauber would have had for this year. So in effect, we're in a midfield car and we've just done one of the team's cars going for the championship for this season. Once again, we've got another car they're going up ahead of one of the Hasses, I think now. Now we've got Colton and Herta now in front of us. Now it's Pierre Gasly's now out of the Grand Prix. So that's even more critical for us. That's just basically guaranteeing us a points finish, I would think, with how it's going. We're two of the front running cars who hadn't stopped yet have just, I don't know, died out of this Grand Prix. And I think Gasly has pulled off, so that's, I mean, around there, that's definitely got to be a mechanical failure. I mean, he could have smashed one into turn 1, but there's no debris or anything, so honestly, I have no idea what happened to the two of them. Probably some kind of mechanical failures, but if that is for Ferrari, that is 3 for 3 for mechanical failures, and 2 of them, well, Vettel, he didn't have an exact failure in Australia, but it might as well have been since he finished down in like 16th, 17th place, so no points regardless. Now, now we've got more engines for this season, so it's good that they haven't just got the 4 power units that we used to have back in 81. Although they'll be taking penalties probably by the time we get, I don't know, back to Russia, which is about round 7 of the season. Now we're all over the back though of the Haas BMW, of what used to be our in-house teammates, really, like Red Bull and Toro Rosso. And it's going to look on old tyres, the Haas is still out tractioning us, so I mean, the Haas is not the greatest car as things stand in the season so far. But the traction is definitely not one thing lacking, so it's just somewhere else. So the car's going to go to the inside line though. Of Shaw, he defends, but we get to the inside line. I'm going to hear over the inside line under the braking, going to get very close there, almost creaming to the back there of Shaw and the other Haas up in front. And we managed to force out Colton Herta. We force him out, we do too good of a job because Kobayashi managed to get him out. That's a little bit annoying. Honestly, I was hoping he could get a little bit held up there by the Haas, but we have managed to hold up Max Verstappen though. He's going to try and make a move now on the Haas down the straight. We've got Herta though making his way. We'll try to keep it up the inside line of Verstappen through turn 1, keeping it side by side still with the one-time race winner from last season. So he's keeping it still then up the inside line. He's knocking this up. I mean, fair play to Herta, but this isn't his fight. He's going to try and keep it there around the outside line, but Verstappen manages to force out the rookie. But he has lost a little bit of time in that. Now then, looking further on, well now a replay, to what happened to, first of all, what happened to Seb Vettel. So he's getting now on the back of his former teammate Johnny Van. Imagine this is going to pretty much really satisfy Sebastian Vettel, overtaking the driver who beat him to the 2017 driver's title. Now we've got Pierre Gasly looking very interested as well on his fellow countryman, the guy he started on row 6 with as well. We've got Vettel keeping right the outside line. Vettel slow off the corner, very slow off the corner. I guess he gets scared off the road there a little bit. I don't know if he got a little bit of a nudge there from Gasly. He manages to get himself back on the road again. But now he gets his car going. He's going a little bit further, but he's not going very quickly though, and then he pulls off. So I think that may have been a gearbox issue. He saw out the corner, probably into first gear. The car just went nowhere. So I think he lost first gear, and I think that may have been a bit more terminal than what it looks. Then he got stuck in second as well because he didn't change out from second gear. So yeah, gearbox issue there. It looked like for for him. And now looking at Pierre Gasly, now still stuck behind the back there of the Renault of Jean-Eric Vergne. So Vergne with some good straight line speed in that Renault, fighting for as well, pretty much proving why he is the driver's world champion, able to keep a underperforming, you'd think, Renault, because they definitely want to make a step forward from what they had last season as well. And this is their third season back now, so you think they'll still be making their way up the order a little bit, especially seeing what Toyota have done since their return back in 2017. And now we got, once again, he's getting into turn 1, but he's not gaining enough, so he definitely doesn't smash into the back of him. So what's going to happen here then for Pierre Gasly? Oh, it's an engine failure of some kind, it looks like. Well, something's definitely gone bang in the back of his car. And I mean, it could be the control electronics. That could be an electrical fire, but he's still going though. So the engine's definitely still working. So it probably is the control electronics that's probably gone, and that's a very smoky way to end the Grand Prix there for Gasly, who could honestly have been on for his first podium in Formula 1. I mean, he was in P3, probably going to get past Vergne at some point. So he was on possibly even for a second place, really. Now then, on to lap 15, so we're past the halfway point now of the Grand Prix, and my tyres now is starting to go off, because I've been on there now for about 10 laps or so, and this is where the hard tyre lines are going to start coming into play now for Kobayashi behind, but we've still got Ross in front of us, and we've still got a few, I think that's actually everyone else in front of us now who has stopped, so we're back to where we started though, in P6. Now we've got Kobayashi gaining back and they can pull to the inside line of us now on the run now down into the hairpin. It should be a pretty easy move there for Kobayashi. He moves back in for us now, coming now into the braking zone. We're going to go break on the brakes and find a way around the outside line. We're going to force Kobayashi there into the inside line. We're going to keep it around the outside line of the Japanese driver. We're going to try and get ourselves back in front of him now, coming up now into the final corner side by side still with Kobayashi. He managed to make the move stick. I mean, Kobayashi, he's going to be absolutely fuming about that. I mean, he had us done and dusted, but just left a little bit of gap. I mean, honestly, I just sent it on the inside line, but Kobayashi there once again coming back at us now into turn 1. He manages to make the move stick there on the inside line into turn 1. And can we do what we did before getting inside line? Verstappen's going to say, my dear, could be 3 wide now into turn 2 side by side with Kobayashi and Verstappen. We keep it side by side, and we managed to keep mainly in front of them, and somehow out of that, I've come out on top in front of both of them. Now you've got Verstappen now going side by side with Kobayashi, and Kobayashi's going to be absolutely furious now to their helmet. He's gone from gaining a place now to losing 2, because he had got past us twice, and we have taken him down. Verstappen's managed to make his way past him as well. Now all this time this is bringing the sole remaining Ferrari Charles Leclerc into play, and that means Leclerc must have made his pit stop now since he's somehow behind us, unless he's teleported there or something. According to the pit crew though, that will be coming in now at the end of this lap, because you see there, my car has absolutely no interest whatsoever in taking any of the apeces. Is that the plural of apex? I think so. Look at that power side as well. The tyres are absolutely done now at this point. I mean, they're only on 40% wear, but around here, 40% wear is quite a lot, because I'm a second and a half down on my personal best lap, so yeah, it's definitely time to come in now at the end of this lap. And now around the least favourite corner for this car on the track, and we've got somehow, because Kobayashi, he's fine by now, he's fuming now, you can tell that. To try and find places to try and get around Verstappen that aren't even possible to really make overtakes in certain places. And we can move to the inside line, because this is the side that I want to be on. If you think about it, can we keep it side by side here with Verstappen? He's just made the move on us, so now you're going to go 3 1. Big contact, Verstappen moves in the braking zone, and there's a bit of a front wing gone flying off us. He's moved in the braking zone, which I'm pretty sure is against the rules. Now they got shot. Oh no, Charles Leclerc, brake mate, brake. And I think his team must have told him there that we were pitting. Because remember back to 2015 with Rosberg, he was going around the outside line and warning the man is warning to pit, and then that's spinning around. But now I've got a HRT front wing now. Actually, I think I've got less than that. I think I've got a what's worse than a HRT really? I don't think there is anything worse, to be honest. And I'm coming now for a front wing change now. That is ruining now this strategy, because this strategy was a maximum attack one, and this is going to be an extra 6, 7, 8 seconds wasted now with a new front wing. There's no way I'm going to carry on with half a front wing. But then Verstappen moving in the braking zone, that is against the rules. So Max Verstappen could come under the fire of the stewards later on. So it's not all done yet. I mean, Verstappen could still actually get a penalty or something. So honestly, for our strategy, I've got to hope that he does. But now they're on to lap 18, so we've got 10 laps to go with the one that we're on as well. And we're down now in dead last place of the cars that are still running, because Gasly 19th, because, well, he was in 19th because, well, that was last, because he was the first one out. Yes, now we've got Herta, because on his set of hard tyres, which, well, he could have gone onto a set of softs, but the medium wouldn't have gone long enough anyway. Now we're getting on the back now then of the American, who scored his first F1 points back in the last race, and we're almost a second up on our best lap. So this is to show you how good this strategy could have been. I mean, take off like 7 or 8 seconds from our end time, and that's where we would have finished. Well, near enough anyway. If you think about it, take off the time minus for the wing change. And now they've got DRS now on the back of Colton Herta. I mean, they've been winning. You've got some pretty good strength and speed. Once again, we're going to make the same move on Herta once again. When we come now then into the braking, going to heavy braking now to try and get the corner break. We've got no one to smash into that time, thankfully. If there was anyone there now, is Robbie Kubica puts up the fast lap race. Of course, the other guy who's on this 2-star strategy with us, he put up, what was it, a 1:38.7? We're going to see now what our time is now as we come around the final corner, pretty much just about keeping 2 wheels there on the track now as we come over the line now for 39. So honestly, we're not that much slower really than Kubica. I mean, we're about half a second down or so. So really, this is just showing how good this strategy, like I said, how good it would have been if Verstappen hadn't have Verstappened us. Because now we've got Stroll then as the car in front of us, the other Haas, and Haas, they're not having the greatest race in the world. There's no other way really to put it in that. It's going pretty tragically for them. I mean, once we hopefully get past Stroll, they're going to be the last 2 cars that are running on the track. And they locked out only the 9th row as well. And this is the team, they've got a BMW engine, probably still... I mean, the Toyota might be the best, but still, probably the second best engine in the grid in the back of that car, so they're not running down on engine power, so it's just somewhere else that the car's really not working. Now when you're all over the back though, of our former in-house BMW teammate, now coming through the S sessions through here, there's pretty much nowhere through here really that we're going to make a move, unless Stroll really starts struggling on his tyres or makes a mistake through here, and we're all back and then we're going to try and sneak it around the outside line. This is moving his space to make it a Williams now, back in from last season, the inside line there, offline Stroll, because it's going to absolutely do him. Couldn't think of another word there. Also, for that, we're going to park it on the apex. Well, make sure he definitely can't come back at us. But now they're coming up now then into the corner, and we're definitely ahead of him there. And our next target now is actually one of the Torossos, which is probably Albon. I think Kari's still probably going to be a bit further up the road still, given he seems to have had the pace this weekend. Definitely making the most of those Honda upgrades, and we're easily pulling away there from our shot. But Stroll, he's actually got some pretty decent track speed, as you'd imagine, with that BMW engine. Probably still being better than the Ferrari engine in the back of our car still. Now they're actually getting on the back, and now we've got Gio there making a move. Actually, no, I think Gio's been overtaken there by the Haas, by the Taurus, and now we've got the Haas. They're actually coming back at us now up the inside line there of Lawrence Stroll. We're going to have it around the outside line there using the good traction from these fresher tyres, these grippier tyres as well. We made them make the move stick there back on Stroll. Now coming to find a little bit of the power side on there around the final corner, so that's something we don't want to do too often. But now then is Gio going to come back now at the Taurus coming into turn 1. Not close enough there to make it back in the inside line, but now we're the driver now behind our teammate, because Stroll once again is gaining back on us with the DRS. The DRS is very powerful. This, I mean, with the new rear wing with this aero package redesign, the drag on the car is a lot more prominent. So the slipstream of the DRS looks like it's going to have a bit more of an effect than what he did last year. And now then, now onto lap 22. So not much longer left to go in this race now. We're all over the back now of Giovinazzi in the fellow Alpha. Going to, by the way, I absolutely need to clear him. Because that's 15th place, so it's 14th place for Albon, then it's 13th place for that orange dot, which is the McLaren. I think there's someone else there with him as well. So literally points are just there up the road, and I do not need Giovinazzi in front of me like this. I mean, I get it, he wants to fight for pride against his more established teammate, I have to say. I mean, this is his 3rd season in Formula 1, I think. Well, he had a joint season in 2017 and 2018, so yeah, this is his first proper full season, but his 3rd season really. And Gio, come on mate, you need to get out of my way now. Yeah, I mean, I'm on faster tyres, I'm on fresher tyres, and you're just absolutely parking the stadium. What are you, Jose Mourinho or something? And try to run out the lane, do the same as we did on Stroll a few laps ago, but you just haven't got the premium grip that we had a few laps ago. I mean, if I could have done that if I was a little bit closer, didn't get out so wide. But I just absolutely, Gio, just get out of the way, man. What are you doing, really? I mean, I imagine the team have been screaming at you already. There's a lock up there as well. You're ruining your own tyres now, just not getting out of my way. I mean, I get it. I get it. I'm the world champion. I'm probably the de facto #1 driver. But I did like to keep it 50-50. But this is taking it a bit far, mate. I would have got out of your way by now. Right, you better hope this doesn't go back to bite you later in the season, Gio. And now we're getting on the back of him. He's got DRS as well. He goes to the inside line. And now I'm getting the inside line. I'm making the statement here. I'm up the inside line there. Oh, Giovinazzi managed to get it. Stop there under braking. And now they're going to force out Gio. They're going to be a bit argy-bargy there with him. Honestly, I probably would have done that if he'd actually got out of my way a lap ago like he should have done. And how much time have I lost? I mean, I'm slower. I'm down on my lap time through both sectors so far. And how much time have I lost? I lost 1.6 seconds to my best lap. I didn't pit that long ago. I should only be about a few tenths down, if that. So I've just lost a second there. So Gio, thanks for that, mate. Thanks for costing me a load of time. Now we're on the back now of Albon in the Taurus. So of course, Albon shouldn't really have been in Formula 1. He should have been in Formula E, since he was going to go there with the Nissan Edams team, but since Kvyat moved from Red Bull, they needed someone else to put in a Torosso, so Albon actually ended up coming back into the Red Bull program. But now then, all over the back of him, he's actually having a pretty good race since he only had the winter test to actually get used to this car. and this is his third race for one. Of course, him and Kari still yet without points. Toros are the only team coming into the race who haven't actually got any points yet. And through this section now, getting a bit dirtier now because these tyres are starting to lose their best grip, but they're definitely a lot better than however lap old hard tyres that Alb's on. And honestly, I like to think that the Alfa Romeo is a better car than the Toro since I have points with Alfa so far and Toro have none with either car so far. I'm a second down still through the second, so it's showing I'm losing time still behind this Taurus behind, and Gio is starting to drop as well. So yeah, Gio, what were you doing, mate? Just holding me up pointlessly there for a lap. If that was the claim to try and make yourself the team number one, that's not going to happen. And we've got the DRS there on the back of Alex Albon. He hasn't got really anything to imagine out. The engine turned up. And they're going to come down. It's going to make something around the outside line. We're going to force our way around the outside line. Just finding different ways to overtake people. And honestly, in the Alfa Romeo on this strategy now, obviously, with the red mist just descended once Verstappen yeeted off my front wing. I still hope, obviously, that he gets a penalty of some kind for that, because he definitely deserves what he did. Moving in the braking zone, we all know that is something you definitely don't do, especially when you got, what 3-4 cars straight up behind you or something like that. But Albon, though, into turn one, we just managed to keep running. Then the Honda engine still hasn't quite got the umph yet. We saw last season the progress they did make, but it seems they've still got a bit of a way to go yet. Now then, looking to Robbie Kubica, who of course is the other driver on this strategy with us. He's coming up behind one of the Renaults of, is that Jean-Eric Verne? I think actually that is Verne, yeah. So Kubica right up behind the back of him. Verne, though, he's had a bit of a quiet race, honestly. Well, we haven't really seen much of him ever since the first stint of the race. He's got one of the Red Bulls there in front of him, which is going to be Max Verstappen. And Verstappen is, he's had a pretty quiet race for them, actually. After that fight with Kobayashi, I can't see Kobayashi anymore ever since he overtook him. Verne is fighting back here to Robbie Kubica, but Kubica going to keep it around the outside line. It's going to be a brilliant move if he can pull this one off. And Kubica outside, he gives a little bit of a drift there around the outside line. A brilliant move there from Robbie Kubica, just powering away around the outside line there of a worked Renault. And now then, and he's also got the DRS, but Verne's actually gaining back. Look at this, because the engine turned up possibly to the max, even more possibly. There's some brilliant straight on speed in that Renault, and Kubica actually had to go defensive there to the Renault, which I'm pretty sure something he really wasn't expecting there. Seeing the banana car get closer and closer to him in his mirrors. But now he's got a corner to pull away. Now Verne is going to have that DRS to try and come back, because then he's got his teammate Hulk as the car behind him. They're coming out into one. A valiant effort there from Jean-Eric Verne. You can't take that away from him. That was credit where it was due there. But so the Renault engine from that seems to be pretty darn good. It's just the rest of the car which needs to be worked on, the aero and that. Now then, on to lap 26 now. We're up now into P14, and I've got Rio Haryanto in front of us, and you can just see there the few cars that I need to catch if I want to get any points from this race. And it looks like there's two orange dots, so it's the two McLarens then that I've got to catch. But Rio Haryanto, his feed's only for 13th place, so he's not going to be for points. But it's for pride after what he did to us last season at Italy, taking himself from the lead whilst I was lapping him. I know he's going so slowly, his tyres are absolutely finished. And go for a move on the inside line, but not even going to wait until the back straight, make the move on the inside line. And it is his teammate, Matsushita, in front of him. And this is what I was hoping for would happen. All the cars inside stopped down the well onto their hard tyres. Their tyres just to be absolutely finished now. They've been on their tyres now for about 20 laps or so. Yeah, their tyres are going to be screaming off. My medium screaming off for about 10 laps. So do 20 laps plus on a set of hard tyres, I don't really see how that is going to honestly work. But though, onto the end of lap 27, start of lap 28, we've got one lap to go, and now it's Albon for us. So it looks like Haryanto's reached the cliff, it seems, with his tyre wear. And now they're coming on the final lap. No, I'm only a 10th down on my best lap. So these medium tyres are really held up now, but Matsushita is still just too far up the road, about 2 seconds or so. But someone who's definitely a long way up the road from us now is Mick Schumacher. I have no idea how he got to the lead of the race, but we saw after the top 10 had made their first starts for the set of hard tyres, he was somehow leading the race. So he's done a madness, honestly, from 8th place to leading, and he can't even see. I don't even know he's in 2nd place because he can't see on this entire back straight. They're not even there. Now into the hairpin for the final time, and I have to say credit to Williams as well for finding something to do with their race pace, because we saw from practice him and Kubica weren't exactly anywhere great, but now then coming up to the line, it's going to be Mick Schumacher to win the Chinese Grand Prix to make it 2 wins out of 2. And just like his father, he wins here in China. I mean, Michael Schumacher did it on his final attempt, and Mick's done it on his first attempt in a front-running car, although it's his second race total here at the circuit. And looking back at us now, going down now into the third, so honestly, not that far behind him, quite honestly. I mean, in terms of time, yeah, but to only be this straight, well, this straight in the final corners back, so we've got Massachusetts there up the road as well. So honestly, I thought I'd be probably a bit further back, given the pace of the front-running car still towards the midfield. Into the hairpin. Honestly, I need Massachusetts' tyres or his engine to explode literally right now, otherwise I'm not going to be getting points from this race. But now then, into the final corner. I mean, run out a little bit while the tyres are going to push it, because why not? You never know what's going to happen out to the line. P13, that's not enough. And well, that looked like it's going to be the end then of the point streak. I mean, being in what is really a Sauber car still, 13th place, it was a good recovery still, honestly. With Williams, though, celebrating their second Grand Prix victory in a row, and with Mick Schumacher as well. So imagine Frank Williams is going to be very happy with his decision to promote Mick Schumacher to the front-running team. And you can see also what it means to the Williams team as well. These area changes not phasing the British team whatsoever, it seems. Also BMW keeping it great as well. And then Kobayashi finishing in P6. Taking a look at the end results, and Mick Schumacher takes victory and the fastest lap of the race to take the maximum 21 points available. It was Daniel Kvyat who went from 10th up to 2nd in the Mercedes, but 15 seconds behind Schumi, who only started 2 places in front of him. And Lewis Hamilton rounds off the podium for Toyota in 3rd, and just managed to hold off the Merc of George Russell, who's in 4th. Charles Leclerc with a good recovery up into 5th place from 14th. And Kobayashi started finishing in P6 like we saw, ahead then of Kubica, who didn't quite manage to make the two-star strategy work. Then we have the two Renaults of Jean-Eric Verne and Nico Hülkenberg. Ahead then in P10 of Nico Kari, who gets his first ever points in Formula 1, and Torosso off the mark for this season, with Matsushita there in 11th place. And now we're up to 12th. We get... Who's gone missing there then? I can't actually see who it was. Wait, where's Verstappen? Verstappen's been disqualified? He's got a penalty of some sort, because we were over 50 seconds there off the lead, so I don't know what's happened to win, but either way we just about managed to get a point there. Honestly, a well justified point there in P12. We've got Verstappen there in P13 with a 10-second time penalty, which puts him outside of the points by 0.3 of a second, because I was 50 seconds 0.3 behind, and Verstappen's there 50.6, so that is double karma for Verstappen. He gets his penalty, and we beat him by 0.3 of a second to that final point. Which then we've got Alex Albon in 14th place ahead then of our teammate Gio. And we've got Haryanto then 16th place, so yeah, he really reached the cliff with his tyres at the end of the race. And we have the two Hasses finishing in the order they started and where they started as well, in 17th, 13th for Stroll and Herta, and then Gasly and Vettel, we saw, were the two retirements from this race. So with 2 out of 3 wins, then for Mick Schumacher, that elevates him. Well, he stays at the top standings now, but it gives him now a 6-point lead over the ever consistent Danny Kvyat. He's finished all 3 races on the podium so far. You have Lewis Hamilton now down into 3rd place, but only 9 points off. And Charles Leclerc, despite his DNF last time out, also keeping himself in the mix, along with George Russell, Kobayashi and Kubica as well. And Pierre Gasly still ahead of Max Verstappen in 8th and 9th. With the Red Bull down in 8th and 9th, I imagine that wasn't where they expect to be at the start of the season. And Hülkenberg now gets up into the top 10 as the what is seeming to be the best of the rest position so far, on 7 points ahead then of Herta. He's also joined there with Jean-Eric Verne on 6, but by virtue of better result, Herta is currently in 11th with Verne in 12th. Norris now drops out of the top half, down now into 13th place on 5, with the exact same amount of points as Sebastian Vettel. Vettel only on 5 points after 3 races. That has been a shocker start to the season for the 5-time champion. We've got Matsushita now in 15th place, also on 5 points, and then we're also on 5 points as well, but Norris with his 8th place has the better result, and he got that result before Vettel did, and then Matsushita with his combined points has had a better position than what we've had, and then Kari with his first ever points in Formula 1, his 3 points gets up now into 17th place ahead of Haryanto, There's only his 1 point that he scored last time out in Bahrain, leaving only Stroll, Alex Albon and our teammate Gio as the 3 drivers currently on 0 points. Now then, moving on to the constructor standings, and it's Mercedes now who moves to the top, 3 points clear of Williams. So despite Mick Schumacher leading the way, the consistency of Russell and Danny Kvyat's paying off so far. And Mercedes now dropped from first now down into third, but they're only 5 points off the lead, so it's nothing to worry about yet for the Japanese outfit. We've got Ferrari then in P4, who are basically as many points off the lead as points they have, 33 and 32. And Red Bull are in 5th place, only on 24 points now after 3 races, with the a no points race here for the Austrian outfit. That's definitely not what they needed. But they could have had points with Verstappen if he didn't Verstappen me. And Renault now get up now into 6th place now on 13 points, 2 points clear then of McLaren who are on 11, and Haas dropped down now to 8th with the 6 points that Herta scored, leaving Alfa in 9th still with my 5 points, and Toro Rosso rounding up to the top 10 but now off the mark with 3. So remember to vote for your driver of the day with the poll link that will be in the video description. Also, if you enjoyed this race, leave a comment down below as well. Subscribe if you're new and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. And remember to check out the wiki for this series as well. So it's the one for this season. Past seasons, every single team, every single driver to ever been in. If you want to have a look back at what happened and maybe in a short while what's going up in the future as well. Also, if you want to check out the modded liveries they use, because this got the F1 2019 game on PC. And if you want to check out the mod liveries I use for the Merc, the Toyota, my Alfa Romeo and the Haas, they'll be linked in the description with the links to the race department download mods. So if you've got this game on PC as well and you want to use these, you can use the links to go and download the mods and use them yourself. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.